Okay.
Oh, Gozen with a little girl skip walking around. Shof did
Absolutely.
not hold start. Uh-oh.
He did not. Got an early windmill key, and then we're going to get our sword, but Gosen's going to go ahead and check that item shop, get some warp boots. And there's a Sword of Wind. So fairly traditional early start, very close to vanilla. And now we're going to see these racers go up and probably just immediately go check out what that windmill has for them.
It looks like first Gozen's gonna go and talk to Zabu. That'll make the windmill keeper spawn, although he'll need an alarm flute for it to matter.
Yeah, just going to go ahead and get this out of the way. It makes perfect sense. While Sho's just going to go ahead and go straight up here. So by using this windmill key, it's just going to unlock the cave of the vampire. I know it has it's our first cave that you get to in the game.
The windmill cave, sure.
Yeah, windmill cave, yes. And
You don't actually have to walk up to the console. You can just throw the key at the console from the doorway. It's that easy. I wish I could do that at home.
That's how keys work. Yeah, absolutely. And then the key disappears because keys are, of course, single use in real life.
Oh, I know. I know it explains both of those things. It's a remote control starter.
Oh.
And it only has enough battery power for one use. So after you use it, you just throw it away because, you know, the batteries have to be imported from
the irony is
lands.
if they rigged up the windmill the right way, they could actually get wind power that way. Sho's going to reset. He got poisoned there. Goes and actually reset back to town. I'm not really sure what happened there. But they're going to explore this windmill cave. Show gets poisoned again. It's a little. It's always a risk with this early cave of having nasty enemies in the randomizer.
Yeah, paralysis is a pretty nice thing to have. It's a little difficult to use if you're not familiar with the vanilla speedrun of the game. Because usually in randomizer, you're just open for flight or something.
Oh, goes and gets poisoned and falls into the same trap.
Yeah, he set up a checkpoint at the beginning of the cave, which was smart.
Absolutely. I also see some warlocks in there. So yeah, this first area is nasty.
Oh, the Goros are called warlocks. Okay. I've just been calling them Goros. I know you called them warlocks.
I did, but I heard it from someone else. So.
Oh, okay. I just call them Goros.
I understand the reference. All right.
Sword of Fire.
Absolutely. Still not unlocking any new doors. That's going to need one of the either the wind orb or the fire orb to really start opening some things up in this seed. We'll see what they get.
There's the fire orb.
How about it?
Yeah, so unfortunately for Gozen, if they head over to Saber West, that's kind of waste his trip to visit Zabu the first time, and it was at his shield.
That was a mirrored shield, so a nice early find. I would suspect that they're probably going to cut over to Portoa and explore the waterfall cave, especially with the Swiss flags requiring biologic potentially for you to use the skip of all the guards to get in the way.
Yeah, the statue glitch. They're going to be able to get everything out of Waterfall Cave except for the item that Akahana gives. So, just real quick, since it came up again, goes and reset back to the entrance of the Windmill Cave. A lot of times when you're watching these runners, you'll see them walk into a cave, walk out, and then back in. And that is to set that checkpoint. If you select Continue from the menu screen, it'll take you to the last time you walked onto a checkpoint screen. So if you're in town, you walk out onto the field. That's your checkpoint. If you're in a cave, you walk back out onto the field. Then it sets your checkpoint at the cave entrance instead of the town exit, if that makes any sense.
Indeed. Sho making his way north is almost there. You've got double flyers in this Portoa area. This is hairy.
Oh, look at those birds. I hate birds.
Yeah.
In video games. In real life, birds are pretty cool, I guess.
Well, just don't piss off any geese. They are mean and they will steal your stuff.
I've played that game. Actually, yes. I lied. I've seen streams of it, though.
There's like
loafing
5
around in the Queen's room.
Yeah, 6 people have played the game. The rest of us have just watched it.
That's the beauty of Twitch.
Indeed.
That was a fruit of lime, kind of a worthless item. Just chuck it out or sell it.
Very disappointing.
Yeah, a flute of lime would have been nice. It would have yielded an extra item in Waterfall Cave, but the fruit of lime, funnily enough, you can only eat it yourself when you're a statue. I never really got that one.
I don't know how that works either. And somehow you can't stuff the fruit into another statue's mouth, even if you're not made of stone. It's completely illogical. Illogical. That's how I say it. That's right. All right, Sho making his way into the Waterfall Cave. Gozen's doing a little bit of shopping before getting his fruity surprise.
Yeah, and we have an eyeglasses here for ShoFukomachi. That will unlock a check later on if they find the alarm flute.
Yes, and they also have to make their way to the town of Joel, which admittedly they're shell flute and a fog lamp away from getting.
Aren't they always a shell flute and a
Yes, that is the required items basically from the beginning of the game. Just trying to read the logic and maybe some of the early unlocks. But honestly, at this one, I wouldn't be surprised if this Waterfall Cave maybe holds a orb of wind.
That's the rare dragon that is immune to fire, the light green palette dragon.
Yeah.
I'm not sure where those occur in the vanilla game, but I believe that's the only palette of dragon snake that can take damage from the Sword of Fire.
Yeah. Of course, in Randomizer, they've got bats. Oh, hate bats.
Oh, tiny birds.
Yes, very annoying. Mosquito.
They look like if you ever played Demon Attack, that's an item. If you've ever played Demon Attack, like the old arcade game.
I probably have, just forgotten. Psych Armor is a very nice find. Suddenly those bats go from deadly to annoying because they just push you around without doing damage half the time.
Yeah, so in addition to protecting them from bodily attacks, from body attacks from enemies, this will also recover their health if they stand still. And I think it's the third strongest armor in the game. In Rando, at least. It's the strongest armor in vanilla, but for defensive properties in Rando, it's surpassed by both battle armor and ceramic armor.
Yeah. So if you are not yet familiar with the Crystalis Randomizer, it's still fairly new to the open world. There's definitely been a lot of changes made.
There's a mimic.
Flags and options. Okay, we got mimic number 1.
Gozen's favorite.
Indeed.
We'll have to make sure to let him know he was the first to find a mimic.
He will
since
appreciate
he went right
that.
first.
Yeah.
I have to say, I agree with Gozen. I believe it's correct to go right first, just in case it's a flute of lime on the right side.
Yes. Or if you get something like flight, granted that doesn't matter either way, but
flights is likely to be on either side, but
yeah.
This way you will have checked both sides before needing the flute of lime and won't have to double back.
Makes perfect sense. Say goodbye to the people of Leaf, by the way. As Sho has worked out, he is going to be going west and exploring Mount Saber West. It's pretty much what's left.
Once he breaks the ice wall behind Zabu, that's going to trigger the kidnapitude of all of the denizens, except for one bunny for some reason.
Yes.
Of Leaf.
Bunnies are resourceful. So this will not only unlock Mount Saber West, but it's also going to give them access to the Bryn Mawr and that entire area of the game.
Yeah, they don't have an item to get up the ramp. One of 3 items would allow them to check the item at the top of West Saber, which would normally be Tornado Bracelet. That would be either the Speed Boots, Rabbit Boots, or Flight, of course.
Yep.
They're gonna have
I believe there still are a few checks that they can do, which is good because there really aren't that many other checks left. But you would expect them to first go and, if nothing else, set up this checkpoint. But no, he's going to go ahead and check out town. There's the grassy spots that has an item in it up here. And also, there's my house. Not that there's anything to do there yet besides say hi to me. Have a cup of tea.
Yeah, gonna want a gas mask before setting up the Stom fight. at your house.
I'm going to
Because you're
pretend
dumb.
that there's nothing implied there whatsoever.
Is that your house? I thought that was Tornell's house, and you were bumming off of him.
Hey, it's all mine. I just let him, think he owns it and pay all the bills and all that.
It makes more pay all the bills. It makes more sense as a wise man. You would probably be putting him. On the other hand, it could be like the guy from, because he's training you, like from Kill Bill. So you have to carry the water up all the stairs to get to his house.
Is that why he's making me do that? Because he just drinks tea all the time, and I'm carrying water. It's very annoying.
Of course, Tornell doesn't have a long white beard to swish. Getting some medical herbs here for Gozen, some safety. Oh, someone's poisoned.
Poisoned. Yep. Let's see here. I just realized we don't
have
an
antidote.
I do apologize for that.
I brought the tracker page up, but I forgot to do it. We have a ball. Do we have a flame bracelet, right?
We have a flame bracelet. So we have a fully powered fire sword, which is really nice because in Randomizer, the strength of your weapon is equal for every single sword, but increases not only as you gain levels, but also as you gain the orbs and bracelets.
Yeah, yet another kind of balance change to the randomizer. In the original game, Sword of Thunder is just completely overpowered with not only having the best range, the best elemental resistance or lack thereof, but also just having a stronger base power. In this, it's all level. It's dependent on what number you have on the dial. Next to where it says force.
Mm-hmm.
Not that you have to charge up that high, but bah. Insect flute. We could have a possible gas mask / fighting you in your hut.
Indeed. For these flag sets, there is no hell run through the swamp without a gas mask, so that is still a required item.
Logically required.
Yes, of course.
We did see Gozen stock up on some medical herbs.
It's true. But he also just picked up, I believe, the rabbit boots, which is going to open up that Mount Saber West path that we were just talking about.
Oh, right. That's actually the vanilla way to get up that ramp.
It is.
Of course, the speed boots don't exist in the original game, so that wasn't intended, and flight is just way later in the game.
Yeah.
Gozen's is poison right now, or no, is he? Yep, he's poison right now, but he's got some herbs and a psycho armor.
Oh, and there's that gas mask at Tornell. Tornell, of course, refuses to give you an item unless you have the tornado bracelet.
But he does have a handy chest right
jerk.
next to him.
And yeah, I'm calling him out on that now because of the whole water situation. He's like holding out. I'm trying to save the world here, but yeah.
Ooh, Gorgons. Gozen loves those Gorgons, but he doesn't have a sword to kill him. You need water or thunder. They're great for farming XP and gold.
Yeah, and you won't typically see racers worry too much about farming this early.
Yeah, the higher you get your scaling up, the faster your farm's going to be. So they're going to go through the swamp. Once they trigger the teleport point in the village of Oak, that will initiate the fight scene at your hut. And also they've got the insect flute so they can knock out a boss here for one other item.
Yeah, so this is 3 items just in the swamp area.
There will be 2 items in the village of Oak, but those will require the telepathy spell.
Oh, that's right. Does it require it for the return of the kid? I thought you got that one no matter what.
I believe it does. I think you have to have telepathy, go into town, talk to the mom, and then go save the kid.
I don't remember if you need telepathy or not, but we'll see. Knowing the luck of this game, it'll drop like right now. Oh, nope, Sword of Water. Okay. Thank you, Master Tornell, for clarifying that.
Going back to the item that Tornell gives you, it's a pretty good design decision from the vanilla game. The treasure chest that's next to him actually gives you a magic ring, and what you get from Tornell there is the teleport spell. So it's actually a really convenient thing, They put the magic ring there just to be nice, in case you didn't have the MP to cast the teleport spell you just got.
That is very clever of them. And especially, it's a way to learn what magic rings do as well.
Yep.
With that
Vanilla
said,
orb of water.
that is absolutely vanilla.
Oh,
but
he
Sho is
did
making a
not go.
mistake. He is. Yeah.
So what he wanted to do there was use that orb of water immediately and go to the Mesia cutscene in the carbonite chamber back there. That would give him 2 additional items in the
And
Queen's
he's going to
throne
figure
room.
it out really quickly because he's going straight up to Portoa, and he's going to hopefully figure out pretty quickly that, I didn't trigger something here.
Yeah, with Gozen only a hair behind, this could
I
catch him
think
up
we're about to
significantly.
see. Yeah, no. With that warp, he's going to go straight there. And as long as Gozen doesn't forget it, I think he's going to take a small lead here.
Well, Sho didn't even go into the throne room. Maybe he realized his mistake as he was going, or maybe he just had other plans altogether.
Yeah. So this is a curious move because he doesn't actually have the Orb of Wind. Oh, he's going to go down and check out the village of the ladies, Amazons.
Doing the vanilla strat of paralyzing the guard a little faster than statue clipping, and a statue of Onyx.
Yeah. So
And he's not going to bother walking across the river. He's just going to teleport to Bryn Mawr and turn that in.
Yeah. And so this could actually be the progression path.
Or a medical herb.
It could be a medical herb. That's just really insulting. Almost as insulting as when you get it from the dolphin.
Well, he can give that medical herb to the dolphin. Maybe that'll trigger something in his memory.
Maybe. Gozen, on the other hand, is following the logical path to check out who is this queen, really? And who's this fortune teller, really? What's going on there?
And apparently there's a little strip of land, a canal there, and that's to prevent a soft lock, I hear.
Oh, okay. Gozen got the bow of moon, but more importantly, Sho chickened out of the fight. And got a sacred shield for it. Wow, that is a nice consolation prize to losing to me.
Not as good as a bow of moon. He got a bow of moon from Asina.
Yeah, I missed what he got from the dolphin, though. I was kind of busy fighting.
I think it was actually a medical herb or something.
Oh, that jerk dolphin.
He just gave it back.
Yeah.
Okay, so Sho is going back. This is good. This is going to be one of those 4 required items. So the most important items in this randomizer, you can see on the bottom row of the trackers, we have a bow of moon, bow of sun, bow of truth, and the flight spell. Those are all going to be required to beat the game. And, swords are good too. So we have them on the tracker. Speaking of which, let me update those.
Yes.
Oh, we have a ball of water. Okay.
Yeah. And Gozen is now going to pick a fight. Let's see. No, he's going to also warp out. So I am 2-0 to rank. Granted, my biggest fight has yet to come. Yeah. So let's hope that I just avoid that fight and have a nice, easy seat.
Oh, did the dolphin actually have battle armor? I thought...
Okay, battle armor. That's not a joke.
I said medical herb because I wasn't paying attention. And I just thought that was a good guess, I guess.
It was a funny guess. Set me off.
All right, and is Gozen going to go ahead and check Saber West? So Gozen actually is not a fan of Saber West and Saber North.
Yeah, but it makes sense, especially with those rabbit boots. You can clean up basically the entire area, except for, of course, the tornado bracelet. And who knows, they might find that. Because that water orb, along with the water bracelet, doesn't really unlock anything yet. Because you can use it to get across the 2 caves in the Portoa area, but you can't get anywhere in those caves without the Orb of Wind. And, of course, that did unlock the Amazons village, but that was about it. Gozen, doing the hop, doing the bunny hop all the way up the hill. Because, hopping up a slick, icy surface is completely logical. All right. Oh, and there is that orb of wind. There is progression.
Good progression. That's going to be a lot of items in the Portoa area caves, as well as finishing up the windmill cave here.
Yep, absolutely. So it's opening up a lot of areas, a lot of items. It's still actually not really opening up like any more towns or anything like that yet. So
true. They actually need some. They either need flight or Sword of Thunder, or all the crap that gets you through the sea.
Yeah.
Well, they don't have change either, so flight wouldn't get them very far. Oh, Gozen.
That was a bad death. But
Hey, the tracker is working.
Awesome. There we go. Another thing that I've found, it's not always true, but it's more likely to be true, is that when the seed gives you the orb of water along with the sword of water, giving you that access to cross over frozen rivers, you're a lot more likely to get flight late in the seed because you've been given that access point. So who knows if that'll stay true or not, especially with no late game access yet. But that is a possibility to think about as far as the logic goes. I will say this match is so far trending to be definitely a longer seed compared to some of the matches over the last day or two. We've had some absolutely crazy blitz seeds in the last couple of days of tournament play.
Speaking of going fast, ShoFukomachi just picked up the speed boots.
Oh, nice. That is the speedrunner's best friend in this game. And as Cross-Product alluded to earlier, this is actually kind of not from the original game. Steve modified the leather boots to actually be useful.
Yeah,
That's
now they're one of the most useful items in the speedrun.
Yes.
In the randomizer speedrun. Yeah, I'm a big fan of going into Windmill Cave from the back if you have to do the final cleanup there.
What are you talking about? Gozen is flying. Flying like just one frame at a time. Very, very suddenly. The flight spell and the rabbit boots are actually using the same mechanic. It's basically just giving you like one frame of flight, or like one instance of flight with no cost. But then you have to land before you can use it again.
Right, and doesn't let you fly over the water, obviously.
It does not. So a little bit different, but you know.
But that's why we have Water Orb.
Yes. And goes and picks up his speed boots. Sho picks up one of the 3 opal statues in the game. These statues will revive you if you run out of life automatically.
Yeah, they kind of work like a fairy.
Yep.
So shout outs to Steve's Hacks again, and a nice quality of a life change on those opal statues. You used to have to equip them, and it wasn't too bad. But the unfortunate side effect of that was that it would interrupt your thunderstorm if you had one equipped.
Yeah.
And you tried to quote use it, even though it's not a usable item and you don't get a message for it. Yeah, actually, I think also it increases your charge timer by 1 frame.
And we have a Bow of Sun at the Crystalis plant location. We are now 2/3 of the way to bow mode, although we still don't have flight. This is also fun because this unlocks the first Emperor Dragon fight without unlocking the second one yet. So there's a possibility that there might actually be some progression behind those first 2 bows. But we can't get there yet until we get some flight.
Yep. Who wants an Illuminati seed?
Indeed. I'm also going to throw out another shout out to Steve for a quality of life change for the opal statues. I recently changed to not disappear off of an NPC or item if you don't have, an empty inventory spot.
Oh,
For
wow.
a lot of other items, they just go away.
I didn't actually know that.
Yeah.
That's good because they're the only
So not in this
top
version.
slide items that are unique. And by unique, I mean there's 3 of them, so it's trinique.
Indeed.
Is that a word? Trinique?
It is now. I've spoken. So, yeah, not in this version yet. So that's a nice thing. This is still a fairly young randomizer. There's still a lot of love going into it, a lot of work that Steve and the rest of the crew is putting into it. So just expect it to get better and better. And as we showed you like 2 weeks ago, this flag set is actually not nearly as dense as some of the craziness you can actually put into a seed like this.
And
there's a lot
goes and
going
got
on.
his bow.
Indeed.
So I have a question. If you already have Bow of Sun and Bow of Moon when you pick up Flight, naturally you want to go through Sahara and you want to get the big pyramid checks. If you have both bows at that point, and you're already in the desert checking Dragon 1, do you just go in and clear the 2 items out of the crypt?
Absolutely you do. If you don't do it first.
Oh, I don't know. Because fighting Dragon 1 teleports you to the entrance of Big Pyramid. So I think that I would still fight Dragon 1 first.
That makes sense. Sure. But yeah, no, you go find those items. They are in logic, and it's the best time to go pick them up.
Oh, I didn't see when Sho got Warrior Ring, but it's a really nice farming item.
Yeah, I think it was one of the earlier checks in this cave. The not Carissa plant one, the fog lamp.
The
cave.
fog lamp, yeah. Gosen's probably gonna kick himself when he finds it then, because he's spending a lot of time farming these Gorgons.
Oh yeah.
And watch it be right behind this wall here. He's got to be careful with his health too.
I think it is right behind this wall. So.
Oh, someone.
Fog lamp cave.
I said. So someone moved the fog lamp from the back of the cave to the front. It looks like.
Yep. And there's that level. Oops, Sho gets caught in the web. It's not permanent, but he's losing a lot of MP there.
Sword of
Sho's
Thunder.
going for a trip.
I think that was the last item in the fog lamp cave as well. So the automatic teleport air out can sometimes be a blessing, but sometimes be a curse. If it were the penultimate item in this cave, then that would be pretty trolly. You'd have to abandon the item.
Yeah, and especially because that fog lamp, that last item in that cave, is so much further in compared to the other items that a lot of times when runners get warped out of that cave, they just don't go back for a while. But Sho's going to go ahead and wander up Mount Hydra.
Yeah, you can get every item in Mount Hydra except for the Bow of Sun location, which is going to require flights.
Indeed.
The floating island. Man, Link to the Past borrowed a lot from this game.
Yeah, it's and there's some inspiration going on. Yeah, and it makes sense that Sho is exploring Mount Hydra because despite getting access to that Goa area and the desert and things like that, there really isn't a lot you can actually do. I mean, there's one cave in a couple of items, I guess, in that Oasis cave. Is it more than one?
It's
I think it's just
2. What? 2 of them would require flight, and 1 would require Thunder Orb. The battle armor chest and I think it's a Fruit of Power that's right on the other side of the lake in the first room.
That's right. Yeah, 2 without flight. That's close to what I thought.
Yeah. Meanwhile, he can almost fully clear Mount Hydra, and obviously flight can't be in the flight locked location at the end.
Yes, but it's much harder to finish off Mount Hydra when you're paralyzed. Sho is not going to be able to get through this wall.
Got
right
a
now.
lysis plant, maybe? Nope. An antidote, so he could take intentional poison if he can find a poison enemy and then cure himself with the antidote.
Absolutely.
It's kind of like when your wrist hurts and you complain to your bigger brother and he stomps on your toe and he says, "Well, your wrist doesn't hurt anymore."
Oh, well, his wrist just stopped hurting, and I'm glad my brothers were nicer than yours. Go ahead.
But yeah, the game's coded such that don't. The game's coded such that you can only have one status ailment at a time.
Yes. Also convenient that status effects are not saved. So if you're close to a checkpoint, you can just go ahead and take care of it that way.
Yeah, it really pays to know where those checkpoints are just to clear a paralysis debuff.
Yeah.
Ninjas poison you. That actually makes sense. I never thought about it.
Yeah. Sho finding a magic ring down that path, while Gozen had found at least a second mimic, if not the third.
Oh, we get to see some fun behavior. The small slimes, when attacked with a thunderstorm, become with the thunder sword. I'm sorry, become big slimes. And I think we got 2 more items for show here. There's the mimic chest all the way in the back, and then 1 more on the way.
Yep. Oh, there's a shell flute with the fog lamp. That combo is actually going to get them access to Joel and the angry evil spirit island at sea area.
That's interesting.
Yep.
They won't be able to. Well, they can get to the Goa area already now that they have a warp point to Chiron, but yeah. I was going to say they would need change to get through the Swan Gate, but they don't have to get through the Swan Gate now.
At this point, they can trigger an unfortunate event. I'm not a really big fan of that play for many reasons. Or
Dom doesn't die unless you talk to him.
Yes, and since Matrick is safely in the channel chatting and not actually playing, odds are I will not be talked to and I'll just be napping.
By the way, in my race, when was it? Yesterday, I think. Yeah, it was last night. In my race last night, guess what your little bunny buddy Dio had?
You'll have to remind me, even though I was watching, because I have the memory of a goldfish.
He had the psycho armor.
That's right.
And I thought it was actually kind of a funny situation. And Dio was just like, Stomp probably should have kept this psycho armor. Maybe he wouldn't have died.
And if you rewatch the race, you'll notice that I said something very similar to that in chat. It's like he was holding out on me. Yeah.
We're like, oh, I guess I should. Stomp's dead, huh? I guess I should have given him this armor for his birthday instead of waiting for Christmas.
Yep. It's true. So I'm surprised that they're playing around in these areas, because with that flute, the shell flute and the fog lamp, you can get a couple of different items in that Angry Sea area, especially like 5 different items at least in Evil Spirit Island and Zombie, and well, they can't fight. No, they can fight Sabera. They've got that bracelet, flame bracelet. That's got to be a big flashing neon sign for them. And Gozen's following the trail.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of Evil Spirit Island if you have the flame bracelet.
Absolutely. I'm a big fan of not triggering anything in Goa if you have the flame bracelet.
You always want to do Goa from the back anyway, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, this is going to be a long Oasis cave for show.
Yes,
I clicked I clicked the storm bracelet item. Oops. Tracking's hard.
It is, especially when you're commentating. That's why I'm only doing one.
Yeah, and we have a divergence here. Gozen is going to go ahead and check out that Evil Spirit Island while Sho gets the 2 items in Oasis Cave that he has access to.
and 2 items being at least 1 mimic and who knows what else. So far not working out. But Gozen also just found a medical herb literally right next to where that injured dolphin was. So that's not, that just makes the dolphin a little bit slow. It's like if he had just swum back a little bit, he could have just rubbed against the wall and been fine.
Okay. So I think for Sho, it would actually... Well, that's fine. He can warp out. He actually could have reset. The first room in Oasis Cave is a save point. And I'm not actually sure why that is. I think it might be because it's the Goa Castle exit. So they wanted to give you a checkpoint after fighting Carmine. The Carmine room itself is a checkpoint, and normally you would have a checkpoint before each boss fight, and then the boss would also have a wise man in that room. But Kensu is actually in a separate room. And it's in a big enough room that they don't want that to be a checkpoint. I don't know. I was thinking about this today for literally no reason.
Yeah. Oh, and we have Mimic number, let's just say 5? Sure.
I'm sure Gozen's counting. We'll ask him later.
Yeah, although Gozen did not get the Oasis Mimic because that ended up being basically a, nothing. There was nothing good there yet.
Yep.
Although I don't think he actually took the time. Oh well, no, he doesn't have access to Orb of Thunder yet, so that makes sense.
Now, once Gozen gets through this cave, the zombie town is a save point, so he could actually another mimic.
6.
He could actually just reset and clear his poison status here.
Yes.
Oh, a tornado bracelet.
Tornado bracelet. So that's gonna unlock not only the item that Tornell was greedily holding on to, but eventually also gives access to the fights with General Kobesk.
This is going to require... Actually, there are a lot of requirements to get to Saber North from the front. From the back, you would just need Flight and Prison Key. From the front, you need, I think, Telepathy and Teleport.
Yes.
To get past the text walls, which have been so conveniently moved to prevent us from clipping past them. And a Blizzard bracelet, that's oh, that's bad news for you, Gozen.
It is absolutely bad news because
good news for Gozen, not bad news for Gozen, bad news for Stom. I'm sorry.
Yes, it's bad news for me. Mainly because, especially with the things missing to get to Kelbesk and things like that, this is absolutely pointing to exactly where Gozen is. No, he's in Tiberias Castle. But this is pointing to Goa Fortress. Absolutely. Going through that front door once they get an Orb of Thunder. I'm sure our racers are probably not overly thrilled to see these items either.
Ooh, an arrow miss on that blob spell for show.
Yeah. I think we can officially say so far.
Why is that caterpillar just floating in the air? You didn't grow wings yet. You got to do the cocoon thing. You got to earn it, buddy. Cool. This is really tight. If Gozen takes a hit from that bird, he'll actually fall through the platform if he's standing on it.
Yeah.
The barrier is really nice. That's I think that sealed your fate, Stom. That barrier.
Yeah. Knowing my luck, Orb of Thunder is on. Well, no, they still need. No, they have everything.
It can be vanilla,
for Rando, don't they? It can be vanilla. See, Vampire 2 fight. Should switch out. Oh yeah, Warrior Ring and 1 shot. So that's probably a little bit annoying. Let's see here. Love Pendant will be handy once they finally get access to Swan.
Yeah, and while Gozen is slightly ahead here in Sabira's Castle, Sho has a couple of extra checks under his belt, mainly the 2 chests in Oasis Cave. That's going to be a little insignificant for Gozen if he combines them later with the flight spell. But if he heads to the Oasis Cave, trying to save your life, not going to the front. Ooh, a Psycho Shield. If he heads to Oasis Cave next, then that could put Sho right back in the lead.
Right, but you also have to think at this point that if they have flight, then that means that all they're missing is Bow of Truth, and that's a really Oasis Cave is a little bit of a one-off when you're searching for that stuff. And a lot of signs are pointing towards Goa Fortress right now. It would not surprise me if one, if not both of those items are in there somewhere at this point. There's just so many items in Goa Fortress.
Yeah, but you can't get many of them unless you can get a bunch from the back with Flight, or you can get all of them if you get Ball of Thunder. But
yeah, I guess I'm expecting Ball of Thunder to come up here pretty soon.
Yeah. Gozen attacks his lifelong friend for some reason. I don't really... Oh my gosh, it was Sabira.
Wow. What a twist. You know, it makes sense, you know, like you go into the room with a friend you haven't seen in forever and she just stands there. You know, it's like...
Fruit of Power. She stole it from the vampire. Okay, so...
That's not the worst.
I'm not sure. Oh, the Psycho Shield actually protected Sho from taking a hit from that powder, which would have actually knocked him in the hole as well.
Nice. Gozen manages to pick up the alarm flute from Clark, who is not Superman whatsoever. And that's going to open up that first windmill guard. And also we'll open up a spot later on with Tornell, who is himself napping. Nobody tries to use an alarm flute on me to wake me up from my nap. I'm not jealous, not at all. Goes and picks up a shield ring. Probably not going to see too much of that with some of the other items they already have. But early on in the game, if you get that, it is not a bad pickup. See here, and Sho picking up his alarm flute.
Wait, did Clark give the alarm flute? That's kind of funny.
Yeah. And Sho is going to go ahead and use that alarm flute to wake up.
Is Clark normally in that hut in Vanilla where you use the X-ray scope?
No.
I saw Clark in the...
Did you?
I think.
Oh, it's Kinzu that gets woken up, not...
Oh, he responds there after you calm the sea? That's interesting. But they didn't calm the sea. Yeah, it must have something to do with hacking something.
Yeah. Alright, so Gozen is now going to go do these Oasis checks and find nothing. I didn't see what Sho picked up here.
Alright, so Gozen did go into the Oasis cave without picking up Flight. So this is going to put Sho a step ahead of him, I think. And everybody just wanted to save your life. And they're paying dearly for it in frames.
Yeah. Because right now it does look like the path to progression goes through my corpse.
So yeah, having the
sort
of
thing
thunder,
I never thought I'd say.
Having the Sword of Thunder and walking up to that door will trigger the Chiron assault, where if you accidentally trip over Stom there, which Sho did not, if you trip over him, then you'll actually like kick. Like, he has 1 hit point left, and if you accidentally trip over him, it does 1 damage and finishes him off. I think is the lore. And there's the Vanilla Orb of Thunder. Now we can go full clear Goa.
That was a master. That was a very quick fight too. I do have some words prepared for this, by the way, in case someone did manage to kick me. Dragonia's army came. Everyone killed. Watch out for Mado. He's more treacherous than the other 3. Take care of Tornell.
Well, I guess I'm solo commentating the rest of this run. So, yeah, plenty of items in Goa Fortress. The first floor only has the 1 item after fighting Kilbesk 2. And the second floor is my least favorite room in the game. Just because of that 1 chest that's kind of in the middle of the room, and you have to route it. It's completely differently based on whether or not you have flight. And Gozen also does not kill Stom, but
Oh, so I'm alive. Okay.
yeah. Hey.
All right. Okay, so you're not solo anymore.
Yay. Welcome back, buddy. Another nice Sonic the Glory Hog. They're good and come up with a better name than that. Anyway, off to Goa Fortress. The one thing we don't have that would be nice to find in Goa Fortress, you know, if not one of the big progression items, would actually be the ivory statue.
It's true.
Because there's going to be one location that is Blob Sue at the end of Goa Fortress. They won't be able to get that without the ivory statue.
Yeah. It also unlocks the exchange with Akahana's friend if you have the change spell.
No, we already have some chat. They want flight in the Oasis Cave chest that is blocked by flight from the front or blocked by Goa Fortress from the back.
Oh, that's evil. I love it. Sho did pick up Deo's pendant.
Gozen go the right way. I think he went the wrong way.
It does look like the wrong way.
He does have refresh, though.
The power ring chest would be quite evil because they have access to that now.
Another thing that Gozen just did, that's another speedrunning technique, is you see him kind of stuttering to charge up his sword. And that's because if you move on the correct frame while holding the B button, you actually can move and charge on the same frame. So every time you get that proc, you save one frame on your sword charge.
That makes sense, absolutely. Sho has actually found 2 mimics while you were explaining that. So we are up to 8.
What a go-getter.
And Gozen's going to find both of them, and I'm thinking he's both going to be annoyed but also happy. He'll be very conflicted. Like, Gozen's kind of the kind of racer who would absolutely love to find every single mimic on the way up to finding the required item through Goa Fortress. I think. He really loves mimics that much. Which is crazy, because I hate mimics. If I got 0 mimics in a run, I'd be happy.
Well, I liked the first one I saw, but the other ones, they just weren't very original.
Yeah.
See, not even
I
like
got you there. I did.
Even longtime runners of this game get lost here. I personally had to pull up. I even had flight. I went back and forth through this room about 3 times before giving up and bringing up a map in my race yesterday.
Oh, and there we have flight.
Pretty good item.
Yep. Not a bad area to find it in. But without that bow of truth, they're going to keep on going. There's way too many items to ignore here. Because they can now full clear everything through here and to the Oasis Cave. And there's the change spell for Sho. So, yeah, this is pretty loaded up here. Getting a lot of access to other checks. Broken statue, part of the requirements to unblock the Angry Sea. Not that you need that with the flight spell now, and with the change spell, definitely have very easy access to Swan at this point.
Yeah, the glowing lamp broken statue is just a fetch quest at this point.
It's true. It's like a heinous fetch quest because it's literally 2 fetch quest items to get 1 fetch quest item.
Yeah, and I don't think we actually calmed the Angry Sea, did we?
We
Chat's
have not.
asking what items on the sea. The Evil Spirit Island had barrier and tornado bracelet, I think. Or no, it had a Wait.
Asina tells you?
Oh, Asina. Oh, that's interesting.
I actually didn't know that myself, and now, so somebody wants to go back in the.
Somebody wants to go check. The race will probably be over by the time you find it.
Well, I'm guessing it's not the Bow of Truth, or both of our racers didn't know that, because otherwise they would have worked the crap out of there.
So, does Asina tell you when you visit her in the dolphin room? I'm guessing.
I think so. That makes sense.
Man, I learned so much by commentating. Oh, that. So, Sho might have actually wanted to get hit by that paralysis. The paralysis thingy, or the petrifying gaze. It would have overwritten his poison, and I think he still has a Fruit of Lime from early on. But the Psycho Shield blocked it, so no toe stomp strats for him. Oh, he gets his Opal statue back though. Did the Opal statue overwrite his poison?
I believe the Opal statue does clear as well. I'm not positive. If only we had the creator in chat. Yes.
Steve, does the Opal statue overwrite Blob Curse? Interesting. So that's a nice backup strat if you don't have a Fruit of Repun.
Indeed.
I'm learning a lot.
Picked up a few other things in there. A Carissa plant, among them.
Iron necklace. So while we're upgrading all of the worn items so that they're all kind of useful, now what do we plan on doing with that iron necklace, Steve? Iron necklace is, I guess, good if you're fighting Mado and you don't have Power Ring or Rabbit Boots or Warrior Ring.
The possibility of doing something with it, I'm sure we can convince him.
Ooh, upgraded a Fruit of Power to a Magic Ring.
And then got a second Magic Ring. You know, it is that time of year. Buy one, get one free.
Yeah, you can wear one ring on each hand. Did you ever play Dungeons and Dragons?
Quite a bit. Usually the rings stay instead of dissolving instantly, because that's how rings work. All right, Sho making his way through the back, having killed all 4 of the generals, even though only one of the match tree has the name general in their title. I guess the others are just honorary generals at that point.
Yeah.
And then this annoying
Actually, they're all generals except for Carmine, because you only fight Carmine once, so he's specific to Goa Castle.
That's true.
I do like this coming out of Goa Fortress. Sho can go ahead and pick up the last 2 items here in the Oasis Cave, and also walk out and head over to the pyramid area.
Also picked up a storm bracelet, by the way.
That's fun.
Yeah. Which is close to vanilla? Although you didn't actually technically have to kill Carmine to get that. Too many items still. So Oasis Cave did not hold the answer, but Goa Fortress, as predicted, very much had progression. Pretty much nothing, very little in the game, I think, is unreachable at this point. If anything, we're about to have the curse of way too many options.
Yeah, but Pyramid's still a good density play, where you have to pick up a teleport location that you'll want later anyway.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we're actually still pretty low on spells. We've only got 4, and teleport is not one of them.
Oh, I like if Sho continues this path and calms the angry sea, with his glowing statue, or gold statue. I actually like this. Can pop in and backdoor the angry sea.
It's true.
Forgot to paralyze Stomp.
I'm pretty sure I'm not moving right now.
Oh, he pieces out here. That's fine. We do have a Carissa plant to turn in.
Indeed.
For medical herb. I'll trade flowers with you. Boots are getting to the point where they're going to be a little too expensive.
Yeah, especially because they're not really grinding at this point. Give me a second, my string went down.
I did find out earlier today, actually, that the price of armor goes down with your scaling. Speaking of which, we didn't really talk about scaling too much. We mentioned it, but if you look at the players' HUDs, next to their level, they're both level 10, you see a number 38 for Goes and 39 for Sho. That's the scaling. Every time you pick up a major item location, then that number is going to go up. And when that number increases, enemies get tougher, but are also worth better rewards. Also, inns and tools cost more, and armor costs less.
Indeed. Oh, and there's that ivory statue. So that is going to unlock not only going back to Goa Fortress to de-slime Kenzu. Is it Kenzu?
Yeah.
Yeah. But also unlocks that final change check, which Sho has been doing all these change checks, so it makes sense for him to possibly go to Goa and do that.
Yeah, Akahana's friend in Goa. Aka Ambre, or Brokahana, if you will. Or Akamrad Hana. Yep. Any one of those will work.
I'll let you choose whichever one you feel right. I always feel bad whenever I change out of my change state in front of her. It's like I've just done very, very wronged her.
But she doesn't notice unless you talk to her.
It's true, but she's really like, I know she says the same thing even if you didn't win in without it, but I just get the sense she's extra mad when that happens.
Sho gets a Fruit of Repun from Dragon White. Dragon 1, a nice one cycle with
oh my
Thorn
God,
Bracelet and Power
double
Ring.
Fruit of Repun. That's horrible.
More importantly, Sho remembered to land before talking to Azteca so that he wouldn't bounce into him and trigger a bunch of text boxes.
It's true. The Sho is going to go ahead and go to Backup Pyramid now.
Yeah, this is as close as he's going to be to these two checks before being in go mode. So we did talk about this before when they got the bow of sun and moon before flight, and I like it. Oh, he doesn't take the troll loop around the left like I always do.
Yeah, there's nothing there. Not even a mimic spot.
Sho is looking up a map. I know the feels. So there are two locations here. One I believe is a mimic, and one's an opal statue in vanilla. There's one to the left if you drop down a hole, and then there's one in the room right before Dragon if you go right instead of left at the fork.
Yeah, the mimic is a jerk. Whoever designed that is making up for their niceness with the whole like Tornell magic ring, stuff like that. They're just like, oh, you came all this way for this? No.
And there's the opal statue, which seems to have swapped locations in the small pyramid.
Vanillish.
And Gozen looks to be turning in his tornado bracelet.
That's an interesting one-off to choose to do early on. It could pay off, but...
Okay. So for this item that Sho's going to pick up in the pyramid, I'm calling... so going to call teleport or telepathy.
Teleport, you're right.
I was so going to call it because they need teleport and telepathy to enter Saber North. So I was like, it's going to be one of those two. And what a terrible seed, not only forcing you to go into small pyramid, but also and warp boot. So we're looking for that telepathy. That's going to get us to up to Saber North. Telepathy will also give us 2 items in the Village of Oak. But I believe teleport by itself doesn't unlock anything.
It does not, I don't believe. It's just convenience. Tornell just holding a lysis plant, so all that for a lysis plant, really, Tornell? Really?
That is a good point about telepathy, or rather, teleport is just a good spell to have in general. So the fact that it doesn't unlock any checks is okay because it's just a good spell to have.
Yeah, you can free up all those spots for warp boots. It's also really nice for them right now, considering they're not exactly flowing in cash. That's pretty easy to fix this late in the game, especially with 41 scaling. But still, it's one less thing.
Let's see what our buddy Blobsoo has here, or Ken Slime, if you will.
I'm hoping since Goku.
Oh no! Well, there's 6 more checks for you, buddy. And while you're up there, why not check that Bow of Sunspot?
And I swear to you, that's exactly what I was about to say. And I was like, because Gozen's right there. I'm hoping it's key to Stixie.
Well, actually, if telepathy is up there on the Bow of Sunspot on the floating island, this could be the play for Gozen.
It's true.
But he does still have to go to the crypt and get teleport as well. Well, telepathy does unlock 2 checks itself without teleport.
It's true. It's a possibility overall. So, let's see here. This is definitely a very interesting, a lot of decisions to have to make here.
And these Yetis and Mop Heads are both pretty good XP farm for Gozen. Good spot to stop.
Yeah, they're one of my favorites in vanilla to farm on for a few levels.
Ooh, he's got 2 opal statues, but doesn't necessarily want to blow them here.
And I believe that's refresh telepathy. Oh, there it is, telepathy.
Key to prison. Oh, key to prison is huge.
Oh yeah,
that means he could go to Saber North from the back, and so that teleport that was in Small Pyramid is officially not required now.
That's true. Also, facing a situation, I can still talk. I promise. Sho found.
Are you sure you did die twice?
It's been a long afternoon. I think we're up to 10 with that mimic. We are almost to mimic percent. Very close.
So it's looking like that Bow of Truth is either going to be here in Stixie, but there's only 1 spot left. And then Saber North is looking pretty good for Gozen here.
Indeed.
Ooh, recovers. Okay. It's a thing.
Yeah, indeed.
Alright, so he's going to use his Wind Sword on General Kelbesk 1. And shouldn't be too bad. He's decked out with all the good items. Let's hope he remembers to check the paralysis spot after killing General.
Indeed. It's a very unfortunate thing to forget. All too easy.
Although in our race last night, we both forgot it. So I not our race last week, sorry.
Yeah.
Oh, he wants his opal statue real bad.
Yeah.
I would have maybe checked the items first. I don't, he has another opal statue. I think that's a little greedy trying to hold that statue when he's got a second one.
They've got all three in the race at this point because they used one earlier, I believe. So I think they're keeping them because that's it.
Also, without having refresh, opal statues are their best recovery option. So I take it back. I can see it. All right, go north. Go north. Go north. Go north. Right, goes in. No. Uh-oh.
Oak is, by the way, a bust. Not the source of the bow.
Oh, there's the glowing lamp. Oh, did we actually have a bow of truth hint from Messina that everybody watching and commentating missed? Because Gozen just pieced the heck out of there.
Yeah,
and there were a ton of items still on Saber North. Was glowing lamp actually the go mode? Glow mode, if you will?
I think you're right. I think we all 100% missed it. And this is our bow of truth.
Let's just hope that Sho didn't miss it then. Well, glad someone was paying attention.
Yeah, there it is. Bow of truth.
Yeah, and Gozen has... Did he pick up the leg storm bracelet as well? But either way, he's got the other 3 bracelets. He does have the leg bracelet. Yeah, he's looking really good. He's just going to go finish up the game. Meanwhile, Sho is still hunting down that glowing lamp and hopefully knows that's what he's looking for.
See, Akahana D-Stone has a magic ring.
Sho going back to Chiron just to make sure you're doing okay.
I'm not, but okay. I'm sleeping it off. Gozen cutting it pretty close here.
Looks like he wants to grind up a little bit.
Makes sense. This is a decent place to do it.
Yeah, Gozen actually skipped this area entirely. He doesn't even need to talk to Dio. He's got Power Ring and Storm Bracelet. Those are really the only 2 items you need to finish as far as combat power goes. And Barrier.
Yeah, Warrior Ring is also really nice to have to switch between if you want to save some of that MP.
42 scaling's pretty high. I think the max is 47. Or maybe 46. Sho is at 46 right now. But he has refresh. So I believe was it the key to prison that was up here?
Yes, at the flight spot. That was the key to prison, which got you the back door, which got you the glowing lamp. Although he could go in the front door if he wanted.
Man, look at all of that XP to be farmed up in that room. You know why there are so many spawn points in that cave? It's because it has, in vanilla, the little pink blobs there.
Yep.
And that room's actually kind of a troll. Because they expect you to have the Sword of Thunder equipped and turn them into big pink blobs.
Yep, you blast them all. Not that the big pink blobs are really that much more threatening. It's just kind of, a cutesy thing. I mean, they do hurt more, but they don't really move faster.
But yeah, I think that they put a lot of spawn points in that room because such weak enemies are spawning in that room. So they're kind of swarming you with a lot of weak enemies. But now we're swarming you with a lot of Gorgons.
Which is just fun. It really is. Right, Steve coming in with some lessons there about the big slimes versus smalls. Goes is definitively in the lead at this point. He is on his way to Dragon 2. Having gotten the Bow of Truth from the Angry Sea being calmed, because Glowing Lamp was up on Mount Saber North, and we all missed earlier that's where But truth was, and we knew it from Messina.
And we'll find out shortly if Sho read that hint. Actually, did he miss the paralysis spot? Good pattern for Gozen here on the Dragon 2 fight. And he's going to use Flame Bracelet strats. This should finish him off. Oh, pretty close. Oh, he got a really good pattern. He got the extra
double
laser.
And there goes Dragon 2. Did Sho just get that lamp and keep going?
Either that or he forgot to pick up the lamp. Next time he menus, we'll have to take a look. Yeah. So,
either way,
it's hard to tell.
I know.
He either got the lamp and used it, or he didn't get the lamp. Okay, he did get the lamp right away. He didn't see
the hint then. Yeah.
That's kind of rough, but on the other hand, Gozen was pretty far ahead at that point.
Absolutely.
It wasn't a game changer, but
no.
It will be good info for Sho for future races.
It's true. Also, there's not really that many checks to do after you're done with Mount Saber North, and so you got to think that Angry Sea probably going to be something they check pretty quickly.
Yeah, I think the front half of the Saber North area has 2 chests.
Being chased by a drone. Gozen being chased by a drone. Oh, you hate trying to stab those, but you didn't have much of a choice there.
What, the birds?
Yeah. It's clearly a giant evil drone.
Bird.
That's not what birds look like.
It's flying. It's a bird.
It's flying.
They've got all kinds of birds in this game. They've got birds with faces and bug wings. They've got birds with fangs and leathery wings.
Yes,
they've got birds with rotating metal wings.
That's not. That's too far.
They've got birds with big monarch butterfly-like wings.
No, those are just evil incarnate. I still find it hilarious that one of the worst, deadliest enemies in this game is this beautiful butterfly. Spawns of Mothra just gone rogue. And you'll have to excuse me for not wanting to call these birds. You have to remember, I've never gotten this far in this game. I always die to Tomato 1.
Gozen, the BM knocking the brown trooper down the stairs. I think that counts.
He's still gonna have to go down there and kill him.
I know it counts with the white robots. I don't know about the brown robot. Oh, he's coming back.
Yeah. See, it's.
Okay, I guess it kind of makes sense because the purple robots show up when you kill all the brown robots, and the stairs open when it doesn't detect purple robots. So the purple robots can walk downstairs, and that counts as killing them for the purpose of making the stairs
I actually didn't know
that. Yeah, I think that's how Dragon Dart got sub-hour in this game. Like, I don't know. The first time he got sub-hour in vanilla, it was pretty close. It was a 59. And I think he got some good purple robot patterns.
Steve, talking about putting flail guys in the tower. I'm not a fan. I know from recent conversation that they've also been talking about ways to make the Crystalis sword something that's usable outside of one fight in the game.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
Can the game handle shooting it in the other 3 directions?
Well, I think that's part of what they have to work out.
Gozen standing in the safe spot. Only the turret bubbles can hit him there, and
safe
he's
spot,
got
in quotes
the safe-ish spot.
Yeah.
And he's just gonna rely on that opal statue for some extra iframes. So, but he did not whisper sweet nothings into Dinah's ear.
Nope. Sho, I think, was thinking there for a second, and unfortunately, he's gonna be killing. Oh no, Sho actually has bow. We were completely engrossed in Gozen and missed that. So
Yeah, I'm guessing he would have followed the trail from the Saber North, even without the hint.
it makes sense. It was the only thing really opened up by that.
All right, and Gozen has finished up his side of the run, and he finished with an SRL time of 1 hour, 15 minutes, and 1 second. Congratulations to Gozengatta, first place finisher of this round 2 race. He will be 2-0, moving on to the next round of Swiss. So I won't have to face him unless I get an unlucky roll and have to do an uphill match with my 1-1.
Indeed, and that will not show down to, I believe, 1-1. I think Sho won his first match. Chat can correct me if I'm incorrect there.
Depending on the number of members in the race, there might not even be a match, like an unbalanced match, I guess.
It's true. Sho did win first match. Tornell is confirming in chat. And won't be terribly far behind here. You know, already in the tower.
Yep, let's switch the audio over to Sho here. Guess I'm supposed to do that. Oops. Alright, let's see if Gozen wants to get in here and have a quick chat about today's seed.
Sho using Warrior Ring strats. It's a little bit slower, but it's, you know, saves on those resources. I don't think Sho has as many opal statues and rings, so it makes sense. Also is only level 11. And, you know, you've already, you know you're not going to win the race at this point, so you can take your time. Okay. Sho going ahead and using that storm bracelet to take out these white robots. Don't blame him whatsoever on that. And we're waiting for to get Gozen into chat. So he's going to join us. It's going to be a minute.
Oh, you know what? It's my fault.
I like the way that...
There we go. I was supposed to click done on the tracker to send him the invite.
Oh. Yeah. Yeah, I blame you too. I wouldn't have done that. So.
Hi, sorry about that. I forgot it's my job to trigger the bot to invite you. I didn't click done on the tracker.
Oh, that's not a problem.
That's what sends you the server. Yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
So hopefully Adirondack Rick, whom I accidentally punged twice, doesn't get mad.
He won't get mad. He'll get even. Congratulations, Gozen. So you managed to win the race. You also did something that your opponents, nor myself, Cross, or pretty much anyone in chat did. You actually read what Asina said at the beginning of the seed.
I always read what she says, and in this case, double bow.
Yes.
But what does it mean?
You know, I actually didn't think about that because we didn't realize it at the time. I had forgotten.
I
that
got you, Gozen.
Yeah, got Moon from her as well. So,
I'm gonna tell you right now, this was one heck of a seed. If you want a needle in a haystack, this was it. Finding Moon on her, getting told that Truth was there, giving you the big hint that you don't have to dip Crypt was awesome.
Well,
Completely removed that.
Yeah.
That was huge.
unless glowing
So I
lamp were in
completely
there.
took that out. Yeah. Oh no, that was the big thing. Just going, all right, where's the lamp? Where's the statue? And not getting flight for the longest time actually had me going, oh yeah, I gotta do this way. I can't go this way. I have to go the long way. Ugh.
So Gozen, Crypt actually did have an interesting item. Speaking of that, can you guess what was in there?
Refresh.
No,
Oh,
it had an item which actually could have led to the glowing lamp. It had a spell rather. Teleport was in there.
Teleport.
So with
Okay,
teleport, along with
Refresh
telepathy,
actually was in there.
oh, refresh was in there. Okay.
Yeah.
Sorry about that, but
And I
that
believe
would have led to Saber North from the front, along with telepathy. So it could have been required if that key to prison didn't show up where it did.
And I believe it also got us to the 10th mimic. I think we got to 10 total this seed.
I'm happy with that. I'll take
Yeah,
that.
I figured you would be. ShoFukomachi has now also finished the race and joined us. Welcome, Sho.
Hello.
Yeah. Not quite the jet seeds that we saw the last couple of days.
No, definitely not.
Yes. So we have to ask because it's something that Gozen actually did see, but no one else, including Cross and myself, saw. Did you read the text from Messina?
No.
Yeah.
Oh, rip.
Mm-hmm.
Well, unlike me, he knew it was a thing at least.
Yeah. Actually, neither of us knew. We found out, and Steve was asking. Yeah.
Gozen keeps holding out all this information on me.
You don't ask, man.
So Gozen, while you've got you on the line, is there anything else we don't know?
Who's gonna win next week? What are the lottery numbers?
Yeah.
6, 14, 32. No,
Does Asina know the lottery numbers?
Asina does in fact know
Is there
the
a
lottery
niner in there?
numbers. She is a fortune teller. Just remember, she is a fortune teller, so she does know.
Yes.
Sometimes.
Did she say where the bow of truth was?
Yeah, she told you where it was. She gave Moon and said, "Go calm the sea. Get bow of truth."
Oh.
Yeah.
I just blow through that text so fast. I'm like, I can barely read it. Maybe I
Yeah.
should read
And
it more
apparently you shouldn't do that.
often.
Yeah.
Did I 100%? Did I clear? Did I do every check?
Did you do Stixie?
Yes.
Did
Oh,
you
yeah.
Did you talk to
Oh.
Tornell with the tornado?
Oh, that was the only one.
Don't worry, it was just a consumable. It was a
Okay.
medical herb.
Mm.
Are we at the point where Tornell can throw a mimic at you yet?
No,
Working on that?
Unfortunately, no, that's not going to be a thing. Because the player, the NPC drops have a higher chance of giving you a key item. That's actually why I went back there. to
Oh,
go,
see,
"Oh,
there's
maybe
more
this is gonna
things
be
that
my
Gozen didn't tell us.
Oh, I mean, you asked.
I mean, which is why I checked the NPCs first before I checked empty chests because they
Exactly.
can be mimics.
Yep, that right there.
Oh, I guess it's a higher chance because it can't be a mimic.
Exactly.
That's
That's
it,
why it's a
okay.
higher chance.
Yeah.
Not by much, but enough.
Actually, that's not necessarily true. It depends how the fill algorithm works.
Well, 120, not bad for basically a 100% see for me.
Nah, dude, this was a good one. Especially with the needle in the haystack.
Oh my gosh.
Did you get flight like super late too, and you felt real behind the whole time? Because that's how I.
Yes.
Okay, good. Wasn't just me then.
Oh my gosh. It's like, oh, what else can I do? Where else can I go? Oh my gosh.
Hey, I do have to personally appreciate that both of you tried your best to keep me alive in this game, even though, as you all found out, basically last locationing the Thunder Orb, that was not in the cards.
I don't know what you're talking about, man. You were asleep. I walked by you, man. You were napping. I just let you go.
Yeah, same.
Yeah, see, we respect your sleep schedule. We appreciate that because you're always hard at work training so you can be the best.
He won 2
Yeah.
fights today.
I did.
Two fights against the runners and lost 2 fights against Mato.
Yeah, 2 for 2, not bad.
2 for 4.
Did you also
If
work
you
boot
count
out of
Mato.
there, Joe?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm pretty sure like I warped out of everywhere. I even got teleport.
Yo, all because I read that text, I didn't check back a crypt on my way up. I didn't get refresh. I just had 2 opals. That's all I had going up the tower for health.
Yeah, we saw you scum one after using one up on Kelbesk. You
Oh, yeah.
reset.
No,
took
I
it
wasn't.
back.
I wasn't happy with that at all.
Yeah,
I'm like,
it makes
no.
sense. Without refresh, actually, it kind of makes sense because you don't want to stock up on herbs or something like that.
Exactly, and since I hadn't been to Sahara yet, I didn't know what it had item-wise, and I wasn't gonna take the gamble between a full heal plus iframes. Potentially could just go mode the fight in the end, which I kind of tried. I forgot to whisper sweet nothings to Dinah though.
I told you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was too excited fighting nerves the whole time. I felt like I did a little better with that, but I still got really nervous at some point.
Man, like right at the beginning, I kept getting poisoned, so I kept resetting out. It's like, come on.
Yeah, that happened to me twice, and eventually, I got the Psycho Armor first, and I just kept rolling with it, ignoring the poison, kept getting poisoned, and I finally got the Battle Armor, and the one time I put it on, I'm like, oh, sweet, Battle Armor! Go through, get poisoned, cure it later, throw the Battle Armor on, and then I reset for some reason. I don't remember what caused me to reset, and then I had the Psycho Armor on for the rest of the game and completely forgot I had the Battle Armor not equipped. And I kept getting poisoned. I'm like, I've got the armor on. Steve, what's going on? And I go check at one point when I'm in the menu. I'm like, oh, no, I'm just the doofus.
Sho, there was an early point where you actually had us worried when you got that vanilla orb of water and then just pieced out.
Oh, yeah. I was like, oh, yeah, I should probably go back and talk to them.
Yeah, I think you're fortunate that it was pretty linear early on in the seed.
Yeah.
There was not a lot of progression, not a lot of late game options. So you just had to clear out a lot with those early swords.
Yeah.
And then it just opened up like way too much at one point.
Yeah. Oh man. I always like having to go through Goa Fortress, you know.
It was
The
weird
front
going
door.
through the front and doing the whole thing. I think I've only ever done that like 3 times, this being the 3rd. And that includes my one vanilla playthrough of the game. Like, yeah, exactly. I always had to the back. I'm like, this is weird.
Yeah,
welcome
it's-
to what we had to deal with growing up.
Someday I'm gonna run this game, dude. Just I got the cartridge in front of me. It's just not there yet.
Hasn't put
All
it
right.
in the Nintendo.
So Gozen, you with this victory are now 2-0 in the Swiss rounds. Are there any runners in particular that you're hoping not to face next week?
Honestly, everybody here, I consider them much better than I am, so it doesn't matter to me. Everybody is gonna be an extremely challenging opponent. My biggest opponent is my nerves, and if I could actually just get them under control, I'd feel a lot better going into this. So anybody. The answer is anybody.
Yeah, a lot of people watching that have never actually played in a tournament themselves don't realize how the nerves can get to you. I remember my first couple times doing tournaments, and it was Super Metroid, so it's already a rather precise game. Which actually, Crystalis is really precise too. There's just
You can't tell, but these hitboxes are terrible.
It's
and
not
really
even
hard
so much the
and really
hitbox.
precise.
Is that there's always something that you need to be pressing in Crystalis. Like you see like, oh, it's a Zelda clone. It's kind of like Zelda. But a lot of times in Zelda, you're just, at least Link to the Past, which is what I'm most familiar with, you're either just dashing across the screen or holding a directional button, walking from one place to the other. In Crystalis, you always have to be on guard. You always have to watch your footing very precisely. You're constantly menuing, and the menu moves so much faster than Link to the Past. So a lot of time can be lost there. It's just, there really aren't any breaks or spots where you can even take a quick breath in Crystalis. Even Super Metroid, you can every time you're on an elevator or even a door transition, you can have a sip of water or something. You don't really have that luxury in this game.
Yeah, it's a pretty fast pace, and you're always pretty busy. That select button gets a workout.
Yo, shoutouts to this sword change that got put into the game. I love that ability. My favorite controller trick right now. It's so.
I should probably start using that.
Yes,
Select
you
B,
should.
baby.
Oh yes, that is just very nice, very potent.
Oh.
Yeah. Also, you don't have to deal with nearly like the status effect stuff and having to deal with all that kind of stuff in Link to the Past. I actually think this is a little bit of a harder game.
Oh.
All right. Well, this was a fantastic match. Thank you for that. Definitely a very different seed from what we've seen the last couple of days with the 35 to 45 minute blitz seeds. Instead, it was like you said, needle in a haystack. Any final thoughts?
GG's goes in. Thanks SpeedGaming for hosting us and hosting this tournament, and I look forward to the rest of the tournament.
Thanks, Joe, and GG to you too, man. It was a great race. Super happy with SpeedGaming letting us on here doing this wonderful event. Big shout outs to them. Big shout outs to our commentators as well, Cross Product and DH Stom, for being amazing and stepping up and doing.
Yes, agreed.
Ah, well, thanks for giving us an awesome run to commentate. So you guys at home, if you didn't get enough of Crystalis Randomizer from this run, another one just started about 5 minutes ago on SpeedGaming 4. And I posted a link to the speedgaming.org schedule where you can see everything that's going on in the SpeedGaming network. Lots of cool shows going on right now. Like I said, SpeedGaming 4, another Crystalis Randomizer just started. But with that, I don't have anything else to say other than thanks to SpeedGaming staff, co-commentator Stom, of course the runners. And yeah, I'll give the final word to Stom and let him all say goodnight to you.
Ooh, Draconia's army came. No, I won't go into that again. Thanks, everybody. Have a good night.
All right.
And see you in SpeedGaming 4.